Hey guys, Naterz here, and today I will be talking about a franchise that I would love to see get more representation in MultiVersus. Although the franchise already has 3 characters, I think that we should totally get more. That franchise being Looney Tunes. Currently, we have Bugs Bunny, Taz, and Marvin the Martian, which, in my opinion, are great picks. Marvin and Taz have always been my favorite tunes, so I'm very happy that they are represented in the game. But there are so many other Looney Tunes characters who we could see make it into MultiVersus. So, which could we end up seeing next? Well, I will answer that question in today's video. Firstly, how on earth is Daffy Duck not in this game yet? Daffy is an icon, and he should be added into the game in my opinion. And I'm certainly not the only one who thinks so. I've seen a lot of people showcase their own moveset ideas for Daffy. But I think one of my favorites would have to be him throwing his own beak as a projectile, because I think that would be really funny. The fun thing about Daffy and most of the characters that I'll mention in this video is that they have so many episodes to pull moves from. I mean, their moveset potential is absolutely through the roof. It's nuts. I think it would be kind of neat if they also leaned into Daffy's Duck Dodgers appearance as well. Maybe he could have a ray gun or something. I'd also love it if the duck season, rabbit season gag were also represented somehow. Maybe Daffy could have a move where he holds up a paper that says opponent season, and then Elmer Fudd spawns in for a second and shoots the opponent. That could be fun. I think that Daffy has so much potential, and I would absolutely love to see him get added into MultiVersus in the future. A character that is also pretty highly requested would have to be Wile E. Coyote, but I always go back and forth on whether he could get in or not, or would get in or not. I don't think the cancellation of his movie helped his chances very much. That said, it is player-first games that we are talking about. If they hear enough requests for him, maybe we will see him added in the future. I'd imagine that he would use a lot of gadgets in his moveset, as he is constantly making inventions to stop the Roadrunner. This is a character who has so many inventions that the devs could pull from. I mean, literally Google Wile E. Coyote inventions and you can see what I mean. He could have a crazy moveset. I feel like he would also have to have a rocket included in his moveset somewhere, because I feel like it's pretty iconic to have him and a rocket included in the same photo. I'd imagine that his playstyle would be him constantly wanting to be up in your face, and he would have some moves that would boost him forward to do so. I say this as he is constantly trying to keep up and catch the Roadrunner. I think that it would be really neat if the devs decide to add him, and I do hope that they decide to do so. Lola Bunny is another fairly requested character, and I personally think that she is a great pick for the game. I do think that she could have played like LeBron, referencing the original Space Jam, but oh well. She could still possibly be a variant, which could be really neat in my opinion, but she also pretty easily could have her own moveset as well. I personally feel like, though, that her Space Jam appearance is iconic, and picking moves from the Looney Tunes show that nobody will recognize is a little boring. So I actually think I would prefer her as a variant over LeBron, or even the game's first Echo character, like what Smash did. She could use the ball very similar to LeBron, but also have a few different moves here and there. I think it would be awesome if that is how we got Lola Bunny, and I would love to see her get added into the game. I have always been a big fan of Gossamer, and I think that it would be so neat to see him get added into the game. I'd imagine that he could be the game's heavy-hitting character who uses his brute force to attack. I'd compare him to Smash's DK. Donkey Kong in Smash doesn't have super unique attacks, it's just punches and brute force. I'd imagine that Gossamer could be like that. It would be taking inspiration from most of the older Looney Tunes cartoons, where Gossamer was a minion trying to capture the intruder. I think that Gossamer is a really neat character, and I think that the devs could make him be a really fun character as well, especially due to the fact that they made Banana Guard work. I'd totally imagine that they could make another side character work as well, and that's just it. Gossamer isn't even that much of a side character. He may not be one of the main tunes, but he also appears pretty regularly to the point where I'd consider him to be a bit more than just a side character. I hope to see him in the roster in the future, and I think that he would be a great inclusion. Queen Tyranny from Duck Dodgers is a character that I've seen get thrown out there with a decent amount of requests, which is understandable considering that she is a pretty cool character. She already is really good at combat, and she has a lightsaber type weapon, which I'd imagine she could use if she got in. She also has been seen with ray guns and some other weapons. I'm not super familiar with her, so I don't have too much to say, but from what I do know, I think that she would be an amazing character, and I really would like to see her be added into the game. I think that Pete Puma could be a really fun character to see get into the game. He has been seen fighting a decent amount, and could probably use some objects in his moveset as well. For instance, he could use a wooden board to smack his opponent. I also think that it would be fun if for his crouching animation, it was him going down and hiding under a chicken nest. He could then move back and forth in it as well, having his tail kind of drag along on the stage like this here. He could also have a move where he digs a hole in the stage and opens his mouth up, waiting for his opponent to fall in. Although he may not be as popular as some of the other characters I mentioned, I think that he could be a lot of fun to see get into the game, and he does have moveset potential, which is the neat thing about all of the characters in this video. Looney Tunes has so many episodes that all of these characters have a ton of moveset potential, but it also means that I'm pretty vague with the moveset ideas in this video, which I do apologize for. One character that I think would be neat is Yosemite Sam. I'd imagine that the majority of his moves would be gun blasts, as it is what he is known for. This may not seem like a ton of potential, but I feel like you actually can do a lot with a gun user, and it's not something that we have gotten so far. Agent Smith has a couple of gun moves, but Sam would primarily be using his guns. But I am sure that there are other non-gun related moves that the devs could jam in there as well, making him a pretty fun character. The last character that I would like to mention would have to be Foghorn Leghorn. I remember growing up and watching Looney Tunes at my grandparents' house, and my grandpa loved Foghorn Leghorn, so naturally I tend to like him as well. I think that he has some pretty funny jokes, and I imagine him playing like a jokester. The whole time he is playing, he is messing with the opponent, confusing them and hurting them in the process. I think that this could be a really interesting playstyle if the devs pull it off correctly, which I'd imagine that they would. And with that, I think that I will end the video here. It was a bit of a shorter one than normal, but that is because of a good thing. Looney Tunes characters have so much potential, and they absolutely deserve to be on the roster. If you guys enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, as it would encourage me to make future content. Next week, I plan on making another MultiVersus related video, so if that sounds interesting, stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next week.